hit some limiter, guys. So before we get started in today's video, guys, consider hitting the like button and be sure to subscribe if you're new. Absolutely gorgeous out. I'm gonna drop off my work paperwork. It's been a minute since I filmed at the house here, since I filmed midnight. A lot of you guys are wondering, you know, where the car is, where everything's been. Gotta love the fall time, guys. Literally like one of my favorite times of the year. Bam! There's midnight, guys. Guys, so today we're gonna talk about the ownership experience of an 8th gen Civic Si, and whether or not it's been good or bad. One thing that's been pretty much bad about the ownership of this car is the paint, guys. Now, I'm not saying that this is the same for every single Si out there, but it's been known that 8th gens have horrible clear coat issues. You know, when I got the car, this was a very little spot, okay? And then, for example, I had a crack here, and then if you look at the hood, there is little like crow's feet that have always been here. So one of the things that's bad is definitely the paint on these cars. I could say it numerous times. I've said it before in my previous videos. For everybody who is new to the channel, I have owned this Si since 2016. So that makes it basically 4 years of ownership, going on to 5 January 2021. So I'm gonna go over today the good and the bad experiences that I've had with owning this 8th gen Honda Civic Si platform. And just a few details about this car. This is a 2007. It has 208,000 miles on it, on the chassis itself, with a fresh motor swap. It's a K24A JDM version with simple bolt-ons and a tune. All right, so let's hop in here. The cockpit. I had to put my big extended shifter back on. I'm sure I'm gonna get hate for this, guys, but it makes driving around town so much more comfortable, guys. Goods with owning this car, you know, over the 4 years that I've owned it so far, the first thing we're gonna talk about is, to me, the most important thing, and that's reliability. Reliability's always been a thing to me. And buying an 8th gen Si, or basically any Si, I knew that I was gonna get reliability. But more specifically, the 8th gen platform, you know, in terms of the motor, it has been superior. As you guys know, a lot of you guys know this, K-Series are basically the most reliable and durable Honda engine that has ever been produced. Now, I had a K20 in this car basically up until 200,000 miles, and then I swapped in a K24A, which is basically a TSX motor. And both of these motors have been amazing, all right? I can't count on my both hands the amount of times that I have traveled with them. I have had fun races with them. I have literally made videos with them, tuning them. Reliability for this chassis takes the top of the charts, guys, for the ownership. One of the best things to own in this car. As long as it's been somewhat well maintained before you aren't gonna have any problems. Next good thing we're gonna talk about is the fun factor on these cars, guys. The fun factor that you get behind this wheel, there's not a lot of platforms that can match, guys. I'm sorry, I've driven a lot of different cars. This has been the most fun out of everything I've driven, all right? You know, whether you wanna hit the track for a weekend, whether you wanna hit back roads for a weekend, whether you wanna just daily drive whenever you want. Whatever you need to do, this thing basically has a check mark next to it, guys. All right, it's a very versatile vehicle, especially when you start getting bolt-ons. We're gonna move into that eventually. You get bolt-ons and a nice tune, it's incredible what these cars do, guys, all right? No matter what you have, you could have a K20, you could have a K24, you could have a 10th gen Si, EM1, V16, A2, whatever. Honda makes a very, very fun platform, especially with the performance line Civics. Talking about fun is gonna lead us into our next topic of modifications. Buying a Civic Si, honestly, any of you guys know that there's only so long you can go that you can keep it stock until you start wanting the feel for power, or you want better sound, or you want, you know, the whole performance aspect. Whatever it is, it's hard to keep these things stock, all right? And that's where the mods come in, all right? Buying my first car, this is my basically first purchase, I wanted something that was gonna be fun, cheap, and modifiable, all right? So I looked towards the SIs, and this car has literally every single thing you can think of. I'm sure I'm honestly exaggerating a bit, but you literally can buy whatever the hell you want for this car, whether it's an intake, whether it's an exhaust, whether it's a header, whether it's lights, whether it's a wing, body kit, shift accessories. Should I continue? There's so many parts that this chassis has to offer that it blows my mind. It really does. So if you want a car that's going to be easily modifiable and something that you can get a lot of parts for, definitely hop in an SI, guys. It doesn't really matter the generation, but 8th gens do have a lot of accessories. If they've been around for like, what, 5 years or so. Talking about mods is going to lead us into our concluding good thing that I can think of. I just came up with these 4 things at the top of my head, but the 4th thing that is basically that comes with good ownership experience of this car is how cheap everything is for this car. You know, this car is relatively cheap to run. You know, accessories, you know, even some of the bolt-ons are really cheap. It's an affordable platform. If you guys are looking for a car that is not going to really kill your bank account, and don't do like the trial and error thing like I did, guys, like really take your time and research and get good stuff the first time, or else you can make this a continuous habit. And it's obviously fun, but at the same time it's like, dude, where's my money going? So all right, guys, I had to switch it up for you. So let's talk about the bad experiences in owning the 8th Gen SI platform, all right? So the first thing we're gonna talk about, I had mentioned this already, being outside, filming the car, and that's the clear coat and the paint issues with this platform, guys. The crow's feet on my hood, and I have the clear coat issue that's starting to get ridiculous. If you're gonna buy a car, if you're gonna buy one of these, really consider, make sure maybe it went in through the recall and maybe got a fresh paint job or something. One of my biggest scares that I had with this car are problems with the transmissions, all right? So one of the issues with the tranny that I was facing is I actually was driving and I was in 3rd gear and it popped out into neutral on me, right? I did some research, I ended up fixing that problem. Another issue that these things have are, you know, problems with, like, you know, we're not basically directing this towards the clutch, but since we're talking about transmission, clutch is reliant and relatable. But my car, I got nervous because I was like, great, I just bought this car, basically spent my savings on it, and now it's gonna need transmission work. If you are going to buy an 8th Gen platform, make sure the transmission is in good shape. If it's been rebuilt, great. You know, if it's got a newer clutch, great. Make sure it shifts really good. There's no grinds, no pop-outs, because I've dealt with both of those issues, and let me tell you guys, it's not fun. I'm gonna say that another issue that I have faced with owning this car is electrical issues, all right? Now, I don't know if it has to do with anything before me. I'm the 3rd owner of this car, so it might have had something to do. And you know, a lot of people don't really know this, but this car was involved in an accident, so that might actually have a lot of things to do with it. It has a rebuilt title. Dash lights blew out. This whole bottom piece blew out basically, and I haven't really diagnosed the issue with that. And the most important, the most sketchy thing that's ever happened to me with this car is the notorious EPS issue. Now, Now, granted, the light is not on right now, but it does come on basically every time I drive this car. EPS stands for electronic power steering. If you guys didn't know, these cars don't have power steering pumps. They don't have a reservoir. It's all electric. I'm having an issue with my EPS where if I shut the car off and I turn it back on after driving it for a while, the steering wheel locks up. Now, I can drive it, but it's very hard to turn it. Lastly, we're going to talk about this car, and this is not really a reason that I'm going to complain about, but this platform is bad in a way that it's addicting. You end up spending more money initially than what you wanted to spend on your car. In my ownership, this car is a bad influence on my wallet. Honestly, it really is. This build is basically done, but you guys are gonna call me crazy. I still want to mod the exhaust. I'm not buying a full exhaust kit, guys, but what I want to do is I want to make it a little bit louder. So I'm gonna take the axle back off. I'll end up selling it, guys, even though it's sweet. Megan Racing. Here, I'll rev it up for you. The exhaust sounds really good, but guys, I wanted to experience that K24, you know, rumble. I want to hear the pops, the crackles, and stuff like that. So I'm bringing it to the exhaust shop. I already know where I'm going. I'll probably end up bringing it sometime this week. It's gonna be cheap, dude. It's gonna be like 60 bucks. Make a video for it. So that's it. That concludes it for the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I inspire a lot of people to buy SIs. They are great cars. I just wanted to touch base on a few things that I have went through to maybe save you the headaches, or, you know, what to expect in terms of the ownership. For the 4 years I've owned this car, it's been awesome to me, guys. I have really no complaints. All in all, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to give me a like, guys. It helps me out. Shows me that you guys are engaging. Drop your comments down below. Like I said, I'm sure I missed a few points. I want to say thank you for almost 17,000 subscribers, guys. Let's get to 20K. I want to host a sweet car meet at 20,000 subscribers. Just get the whole community together. Let's get to 20K. Let's get there. I'll probably do another giveaway at 20K. Yo, I don't know why I'm craving Chipotle right now. Screw it. We're going to Chipotle. Look, there's a S2K right there. S2K. This car never gets old, guys. Even though I'm thinking about another platform. Wait, what? I get my balls busted all the time for not hitting rev limiter, so let's hit some limiter, guys. To do it. You see the sign. Your boy's craving a burrito right now. If you need any LED lights for your vehicle, the link will be down in the description.